Ba't nagkaka-root growth yung mga halaman? Root growth? Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Peter Planter and I'm hoping everyone's doing great. We are still under quarantine. So anyways, how have you been, guys? I hope that you've you all are doing well. I hope that everyone's doing fine with their schoolworks and all of those stuff, because we know that everyone has to do their own schoolworks and all of those stuff. So anyways, if you have noticed about recently the weather recently, it has been raining a lot, and it has been raining like every single day. Well, in fact, I think yesterday was the only day that it didn't rain, and today, currently it's raining. That's why I decided to make this video. I've been wanting to make this video actually, but I didn't have any time. But since I'm taking a break from thesis, I'm doing this video because it's a perfect weather for this video. Talking about rain, you might have an idea of what this video is all about just by looking at the title. Basically, I'm going to talk about 5 ways to deal with root rot. So if you have houseplants just like me, that is under or exposed to nature's wrath, or whatever. Like for example, it's under a tree. It's not covered by anything else. It's not covered by polycarbonate. It's not under a roof or something like that. So it is prone to like rain, sort of those stuff, sun, poop of bird poop, something like that. So recently I've had a problem with rain. It has been raining for almost every single day for the past 2 weeks, and yesterday was the only break time where it didn't rain the entire day. It was not that hot, but it didn't rain as well. But today, when I checked Google, Google said that there's going to be a scattered thunderstorm and rainfall, but damn, the rain is so strong already. But good thing I have my plants inside my house. Anyways, so first, what happens when your plants or your house plants are always wet? What happens? What do you think? It might have root rot, or it might have rotting problems of some sort. It looks nice. It looks nice though. Plants really looks refreshed every after a rainfall. But if the rainfall still continues every single day, then you might have a problem. So for example, I have one perfect example right here. Especially, I know plants are supposed to make you chill or something like that, but when you have priced houseplants and like when you spend that much for a plant, it's gonna give you anxiety. It's gonna give you enough anxiety that you can't sleep at night or something like that. Especially when the plants right now are expensive and you can't do anything about it because it's demand. Consumers, people buy plants. People are buying plants a lot, and supply of plants are getting low because we don't have the tissue culture in the Philippines. We're going too far. Anyways, I'm going to start with a perfect example of this rot. So if you are not yet familiar with this plant, this is my pink princess philodendron. This is my second pink princess philodendron. The mother plant of this pink princess also experienced rot, and it's still recovering. This one though was already thriving for months. It was growing a lot. It was pushing out this beautiful pink variegations. But recently it has been raining for every day. I was really scared about my aeroids being under the rain for like every single day. So at the 3rd day of that constant rain or something like that, I decided to take out my Monstera deliciosa, Monstera borsigiana, my Philodendron pink princess, my Philodendron mayoi, my Philodendron green emerald, my Philodendron red emerald, and every single aroid that I have that cannot withstand like constant water or constant wet soil. So I took this out from its spot and placed it under the roof. And a couple of days after, I noticed that it wasn't growing as much as it was growing like before this rainy season came. So this new leaf right here, this I don't know, yeah, that one. So that one did not grow for 2 weeks already, and I noticed that the leaves were turning yellow. So that was one indication for me that there was something wrong with the roots. What do you do first? So the first thing you have to do is the foliage. Check the foliage. If your foliage starts to yellow up like this, or let's say brown on the edges and it's still spreading throughout the leaf, you might want to check your plant because there might be something wrong. Or is my English correct? So yeah, you have to check the foliage. Foliage tells you the problem of the plant as well. If your plant isn't growing that much, or if your plant has stunted growth, then it means that there's something wrong with the roots, because when the roots are not growing, the foliage will not grow as well. So after you check your foliage, if you start having problems like this, you might want to check the roots. So what I did after I saw this one right here, it already lost a leaf. Actually, this will be the second leaf that it would lose, and it's pretty sad. This was a very pretty plant. I don't want to lose my pink princess though. Anyways, you have to check the roots. So what I did, I took it out from its pot and took all the soil, knowing that my soil mixture for this pink princess initially wasn't really that well draining. Philodendrons or aroids like to have a very well drained soil, more on organic matter, orchid bark, and sort of those stuff. But I don't have orchid bark with me, but I have tipasi. Tipasi is one of the best ways, or one of the best alternatives that you can use for your plant if you don't have any well draining mixture. So what I did, I took it out from the spot, changed its soil medium to like 90% tipasi and just 10% organic soil material. So after that, I actually installed this hole right here because just in case, I don't want to disturb the roots. When I checked the root system, actually, it was really pretty good. It wasn't really rotting there wasn't really as much rot as what I was expecting. So I had little problems with this one, but I think this one's natural because, you know, plants do lose leaves, especially when it's the youngest or the eldest leaf right here. This is the oldest leaf among all these leaves. So yeah, you have to check the roots when you see the foliage is showing the sign. So the third one is actually I already actually talked about, change the soil medium. So after you check the roots, after you check the foliage and then something's wrong, you check the roots. And then the third step is change the soil medium, which I talked about earlier. So you have to change your soil medium. You have to research more on your plant. Not all plants have the same requirements. Basically, some plants requires well draining mixture, some plants require water retaining mixture. So you have to make sure your plant has the right soil mixture in its pot. So next one, if your plant is under a roof or inside your house but you are experiencing root rot, one of the problems is that your plant is not getting enough sunlight, or your plant is not getting enough light. When plants do not get enough sunlight, they cannot use up the water that's in the pot or that's in the soil. So basically the water retains in the soil and it rots the roots off. So what you want to do is you want to put your plants on a brighter sunlight if you notice that your plant is not doing well. This one actually is doing really well, like really well. It's doing really well under my tree, but since it's rainy season, I cannot put it under there because it's gonna die there. So I placed it in my east facing window on my living room, and it's doing pretty fine. It receives a lot of sunlight there, about 4 hours of morning sun, and the rest is indirect sunlight, and that's what you want to do. So that's the fourth step, to avoid rot. And once you change everything but it's not doing well still, you might want to put it in more sunlight, because they can plants really actually do better with more sunlight, not direct sunlight though. They would do better. They would do best in brighter sunlight. So the last the last the last step is to have your plants less watered. I know it's very tempting to water your plants often, because especially when you're not doing anything at home, you're in quarantine, or we are all at home anyway, so it's very tempting to water your plants regularly, but you want to wait for your plant to dry out for a day, or like topsoil to dry before watering. It's better to wait for your soil to dry out than to have your soil constantly moist. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So yeah, that's my rule. I don't want my plants to sit on moist soil. I will wait for my plant to sit on dry soil before I water it. Unless if it's a kind of plant where they need a lot of water, there's a lot of plants that needs a lot of water, like peace lilies, ferns, and Dieffenbachias, and some syngoniums. But no, I noticed one of my syngoniums are not doing better, doing great. It's like dying on me. This is the only syngonium that I can keep. No, there's two syngoniums that I can keep in my hands. So yeah, this is the best example. So unfortunately, I'm going to lose this leaf in a few weeks time, and I'm really hoping that this one would bounce back, because my other pink princess is also struggling. So yeah, that's the thing about having your plants outside and exposed to nature exposed to rain, exposed to anything like that. So yeah, it kind of sucks, but I'd rather put them outside than here in my room, because my room does not have like enough sunlight. If you follow me on IG, you might have seen my story where it was like around 11 p.m. or just late at night, and I really couldn't sleep. I really couldn't think straight with my PCs, because my monstera stopped growing again for the second time, just like this spilete right here. And I noticed that, because it was like under the elements of nature. Wow, that's the correct term, elements of nature. So it was under the elements of nature. It was constantly raining, and you know that Monstera deliciosa, when I got it, it actually got a root rot, and then I waited for 7 months. I waited for 7 freaking months for it to push out a new growth, and then it pushed out 3 new leaves. 2 of the leaves are like defects, and 1 healthy leaf. After that 1 healthy leaf, it stopped again. And when I checked the roots, it was rotted. It rotted. It rotted, and you know, as much as I wanted another Monstera, I couldn't afford plants right now. Like, it's expensive, so better take care of your plants well. Don't take advantage of plants. Don't just buy plants when you just want them to live in your bedroom and die after a few months. No, buy plants, take care of them, treat them as your child, treat them as much love as you can, because plants understand you better. Oh. plants understand you better, and you can trust plants with your problems and everything like that. And I hope you guys are doing well, despite of the problems that we are currently having, especially this pandemic and all of those stuff surrounding us. And yeah, find a way to keep yourself sane. Buy plants, even though it's like just simply as plants. Buy it if it makes you a little better. If it costs 50 pesos, buy it. If it costs 20 pesos, buy it. And then if you don't have money, buy something that would make you happy, like, or do something that would make you happy, like propagate your plants or take care of your plants, just like that. Just keep yourself sane. Your mental health is more important. So anyways, I hope you learned something in this video. I hope you understood the 5 steps to deal with root rot, and that is my opinion and how I would deal with my root rot, and that's how I am dealing right now. So yes, I hope you guys are doing well. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you're new here. It's Peter Planter, and I hope to see you in my video. Bye.